Good morning, everybody. My name is Bill Gaughan. I'm a Lackawanna County Commissioner. I'm honored to be with you today. I just wanted to recognize, before my remarks, some of the elected officials that are in the audience today. So we have Mayor Al Chelik with us, who is the mayor of Mayfield. Mayfield Council members Diana Campbell, Wendy Bochnavich, Tiffany Casey, Tom Hartman, and Bridget Betcher. And Archibald Borough Council members are here with us this morning, Dave Moran, Rich Gooman, and Marie Andrioli. And we have Ben Kirshner from the Office of Transformation and Opportunity. So we want to welcome them and thank them for all of their hard work here in Lackawanna County. It's my honor to welcome you here this morning for what is a very exciting moment for Lackawanna County and for our Commonwealth. Over the past 2 years, we have seen firsthand the commitment of Governor Josh Shapiro and his administration to strengthen Pennsylvania's economy, support working families, and create opportunities in every single corner of our state. Here in Lackawanna County, that commitment is not just in words, it's in action. It's investment. It's a clear vision that Pennsylvania can and must compete to attract new businesses, new industries, and new jobs that pay family-sustaining wages. We are proud to host today's announcement, which reflects not only the governor's leadership, but also the dedication of Secretary Rick Seeger and the Department of Community and Economic Development in driving growth and innovation across Pennsylvania. Governor Shapiro has always said government should be a place that delivers practical, common sense solutions that make life better for our people. And here in Lackawanna County, we see that spirit in action today. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to the 48th governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Governor Josh Shapiro. Thanks, Governor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, everybody. It is good to be here, and it's always good to be here talking about jobs and economic opportunity in northeastern Pennsylvania. I want to begin by thanking your commissioner. He is doing a hell of a job for Lackawanna County, and I say that as a former county commissioner, knowing that the county government is where the rubber really meets the road. No offense, Mayor. I know mayors are where the rubber meets the road, too, and you've been doing it a long time, our mayor for life here. I want to just say, but in all sincerity to the commissioner, what I shared with him in private, I want to share with all of you. This is a community that really has its act together. Everybody's working together. Everybody's rowing in the same direction when it comes to economic development. And we are literally creating thousands of jobs here in northeastern Pennsylvania in a number of different economic development opportunities, thanks to this community really working together. The government, the private sector, and I see members of our building trades here who do amazing work actually building this. So to Drew and everyone else in the building trades, we appreciate you so much, and your members are going to be busy for a real long time with all the work that we're bringing here. I'm excited to be back here today to talk about the next step that our administration is taking to grow our Commonwealth's economy and to create jobs right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. And specifically today on this abandoned coal mine right here in Lackawanna County. You know, when I was sworn in as your governor, I made very clear that Pennsylvania would compete again on big economic development deals. Before I took office, we were not only losing the game, we weren't even on the field of play. We're now on the field and we are winning big time and creating jobs and economic opportunity. We've done that in part by putting the right people in place to lead this effort. You'll hear from him in a moment, but I want to make special mention of the Secretary of the Department of Community and Economic Development, Secretary Rick Seeger, who joins me. He is my right hand on these deals, and he's doing a hell of a job for this Commonwealth. He has many partners in this effort at the state level. I really want to single out one, and that's Ben Kirshner, who leads our Office of Transformation and Opportunity, a brand new office in my administration, a one-stop shop for getting stuff done when it comes to economic development. So we put a great team together. We also put together a comprehensive plan. For the first time in 20 years, Pennsylvania has an economic development strategy. And this project here in northeastern Pennsylvania is a key part of it. So the people and the plan are in place. And then we brought Republicans and Democrats together to finally fund economic development, increasing our budget so we could get big deals done like this. You know, I'm one of the only governors in the entire country with a divided legislature. We've been able to find ways to bring the parties together to do important work like economic development. And finally, we worked incredibly hard to reform our permitting process and speed up government, slashing wait times, reducing backlogs, and getting people to the finish line and getting them to yes as quickly as possible. Ben Kirshner and his team have led that effort for us. We hear from CEOs and business leaders and labor leaders all the time that we need more sites ready to be developed and we need speed to market. Those are the two things they called on us to do. Have sites ready and be ready to move quickly. And before I took office, we had neither. We had a slow permitting system and we literally had no sites available to be able to show a CEO who wanted to bring their company here to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Other states literally had pad-ready sites where they had the electrical hookups in place. The site prep was done. Water and other key infrastructure was ready to go. We had none of that. Now we do. And we are in a place where we can finally compete. We used to be lagging in this space. Now we are leading, and we are an example to the rest of the country. In my budget last year, we secured an historic $500 million for site development to literally lay the foundation for economic growth in Pennsylvania. Last May, I announced the first round of projects to get funding through what we call the PA Sites program. That included repurposing land in the Philadelphia Navy shipyard so we can host cutting-edge innovation, advanced life sciences companies who are looking to locate next to our great universities down in southeastern Pennsylvania. It also included examples in rural communities like Bedford. They're seeing now a surge of new business. With our help, the local economic development team there are already working on building out their third business park because of a sites grant that we provided them. So far, under this new PA Sites initiative that we launched, we've invested $75 million in 18 different projects across Pennsylvania. And get this, those 18 projects are leading to the creation of 7,840 permanent jobs, in addition to all of the construction jobs to get that built up. But listen, I'm pretty impatient and I'm competitive as hell, so I'm not going to rest on our laurels. I want us to keep going, and that is why I am here today. I think we need to spur on additional economic growth. I wanted to come back here to Lackawanna County, here to Mayfield on the edge of Archbald, to announce the second round of investments that my administration is making in PA sites. Today, I'm here to announce that Pennsylvania is putting $39 million of sites money into 11 new projects across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And of that, we're going to use $6 million to help build a brand new logistics center right here on this ground where we stand today. We're going to breathe new life into 87 acres of abandoned mine land that sat dormant for nearly 5 decades. And now we have an opportunity to repurpose it and grow and create real opportunity here in this community. Understand that this $6 million is on top of the $15 million we've already announced for this site through the Department of Environmental Protection to help Mark Powell and others who are working on this site clear out old mine waste, remove overgrown trees and vegetation, and level this land so we're in a position where construction can begin. Once this is all complete, Century Development will use our funding from PA sites that I'm here to announce today to extend the utility services to these pads so that they are ready for major companies who want to take advantage of a state-of-the-art site conveniently located right here off the Casey Highway. Look, we are not only funding this project, we're also helping them cut through the red tape so they can get to market more quickly. Remember in the beginning I talked about how we needed sites and we needed speed? This project is an example of how we are doing both. For years, this project was stuck because they couldn't get started on the reclamation process until they got all of their permits in order. Our Office of Transformation and Opportunity, under Ben's leadership, worked directly with Mark to get this project admitted into what we call the PA Permit Fast Track Initiative, designed to specifically help speed up and simplify the process for major projects like this. Thanks to Ben's work at OTO, they already have 5 of the major permits that they need for this project, and they are ahead of schedule. Get this, Mark tells us they are going to be able to save 1.5 years of project time thanks to the incredible work our permitting team has done. Speed matters, and we can now deliver that here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I just want to thank Ben Kirshner and his team. They're doing a hell of a job for all of us. This project is going to create at least 150 construction jobs and 700 permanent jobs right here in this community. Here in Lackawanna County, we are literally turning this dirt into jobs and opportunity. I look at this dirt and I see real freedom, real opportunity for families to put food on the table, real opportunities for young people to be able to graduate high school and go to work in the community that they love, not have to go somewhere else to find opportunity. That's real freedom. That's real opportunity. That's what we've been preaching, and that is what we are now in a position to deliver on. And this community gets it, and I'm grateful to be here with all of you. This is just one example of the many economic development successes that we are seeing, and folks are taking notice of it. Under our administration, Pennsylvania was recently ranked the top state in the Northeast for regional economic competitiveness by Site Selector magazine. Forbes just rated us one of the best states in the country to be able to start a business. Wallet Hub ranks our Commonwealth among the top 3 states for quality of life. And CNBC puts us in the top 10 for affordability, the only state on the entire East Coast to have that distinction. Our work is paying off, and it is showing real results. And I want you to know, I am hungry for even more. I believe in this community. I believe in the promise of prosperity for each and every Pennsylvanian, particularly here in northeastern Pennsylvania. And I'm going to keep working to grow our economy and continue to work to bring people together at all levels of government, public sector, private sector, our labor unions, and others, Republicans and Democrats alike. We have an opportunity to do big things again here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and this project here in northeastern PA really is a wonderful example of that. So I'm pleased to be back with you today, and now it is my pleasure to bring up the developer of this site, Mark Powell, who we are going to hold accountable to speed as well. He's going to get this done quickly. I know we've shaved 1.5 years off. Mark, maybe we can even shave a little more time off. He's doing great work, and we're pleased to work with him. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Powell.
Thank you, Governor Shapiro. You certainly reset the table for economic competitiveness in the state of Pennsylvania and the Northeast. And I'll tell you, your office, OTO, you can't say enough about them. Speed counts. And I thought I was competitive. I learned something today. So
there you go. Good.
It's been an excellent
Hopefully
program.
The Phillies will be competitive.
Absolutely, and the Eagles. It's been an excellent program. We're moving dirt, and we're already getting quite a few inquiries about the site since the dirt is now turning. We got the attention of the community,
Good.
and we're on our way. So thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mark. I mentioned my right hand in this work is the Secretary of Department of Community and Economic Development. I know he's been in this community so many times. He's been out to this project site. He cares deeply about the work we're doing here. Ladies and gentlemen, Secretary Rick Steiger.
Wow, well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for having us back in Lackawanna County. This is a big deal for us. Excited to be here and especially honored to join the governor to announce this next phase of our PA Sites program. Because really it was under his direction and leadership that we were able to secure this funding and move ahead. As you heard, we're investing in sites in Pennsylvania for a really specific reason. We heard from businesses inside and outside the state. We heard from site selection professionals and real estate professionals. We heard from our economic development partners, many of whom are here today, that if we want to compete, we need sites that are pad ready. Without pad ready sites, businesses don't have the options they need to move fast with the speed that they need to compete in their market. And as a result, we worked in a bipartisan way to secure historic funding for this $500 million, which is the source of today's funding, to enable us to get back in the game and compete. And look what we're doing. Look what these sites are doing. This is one of 11 new funding announcements we're making today. But I will say that over the course of this program, including our pilot, we've awarded, including today's round, $114 million in grants and loans and planning support in 19 counties all across Pennsylvania. And we're just getting started. Working at the speed of business is what we're all about in this administration. We talked about sites that are important, but we've also slashed permitting times, strengthened our workforce, cultivated a business climate and environment where businesses can succeed. And as you heard, projects like this one and many others across Pennsylvania are benefiting from our nationally recognized fast track program led by the great Ben Kirshner, who you've heard a lot about here today. And importantly, these site grants, this approach, is a key priority of our 10-year plan. With announcements like this, we're making this plan a reality. And equally importantly, we're going to enable not just new companies, but existing Pennsylvania companies to grow with these funds. This is an example of how I believe we're putting the governor's direction to us into real action. He says, get stuff done, GSD. We heard from the business community early on in our administration. We built a bipartisan coalition, and we're getting stuff done. Again, pleasure to be with you today. My last point, economic development's a team sport. A bunch of people have been recognized here today. I know there's a lot of people in this tent, in this area that do this work every day. I do want to recognize Bruce Reddick, who is our business PA lead in Northeast PA, who's here today. If you have businesses that you want to grow, talk to Bruce, get his cell phone number. One of the important people as part of that team are county and local economic development professionals. And in that spirit, it's now my honor to introduce Kristen Magnata, who works at the Lackawanna County Planning and Economic Development Corp. Kristen, thanks.
Well, good morning. I'd first like to thank our governor, Josh Shapiro, and DCD Secretary Rick Seiger for bringing such a great and certainly always welcomed news to Lackawanna County today. I would also like to thank Mark Powell for selecting Lackawanna County for your new home with this impactful development project. And to the people of Mayfield, projects such as this are never possible without your support. Lackawanna County has a long history with logistics and transportation, and we continue to grow. Transportation and warehousing currently employs almost 8,000 people in Lackawanna County alone, and having a project of this magnitude puts us on the path to more growth, jobs, and industry in this county. We are proud of our history in logistics and transportation, and will provide all the support we can to make sure there's a feeling of welcome and a sense of community. Being prepared with shovel-ready sites such as with this development puts Lackawanna County front and center to attract and sustain impactful businesses. Lackawanna County is truly on the brink of growth in many areas, and we embrace such growth to watch our communities thrive and to keep our folks working in family-sustainable jobs. This project is special in that it takes old coal mine scarred lands and through the acid mine reclamation program, reclaims this land to provide for fruitful development. And the PA Sites program provides the resources necessary to make Pennsylvania and Lackawanna County have available shovel-ready sites to compete for major industry. Having these tools provided to us through the state government gives lands such as these and all throughout Lackawanna County a second life. And this second life provides opportunity and growth, resulting in living wages and solid employment for our residents. Thank you again to Governor Shapiro, Secretary Seiger, and Mark Powell. I look forward to getting shovels in the ground for the Century Logistics Center in Lackawanna County. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm going to take some questions from the media, but I just wanted to seize on one word that Kristen shared, which is opportunity. I mean, I look at a site like this and I just see immense opportunity for this community, and we see so much power, so much purpose, and so much opportunity here in northeastern Pennsylvania, and this is yet another example of our commitment to this region. So, Kristen, thank you for using that word, because I think it is an appropriate word for what we're seeing here. And that I'll take some questions, and I'll just start by saying, yes, it is true that Drew Popish was apparently laying some of the stone down here, so you didn't get your feet all muddy. I don't know, Drew, if he can get his carpenter card or something to, you know. All right, we got any questions from the media here?
Yeah, Governor, you've got a commissioner standing behind you there. His 2025 budget won't balance unless it gets the rest of the state money that's due, and that's held up right now by the impasse. We've been hearing for weeks about, there being progress, but what's the big hang-up? Why isn't this done yet?
I mean, I introduced my budget 246 days ago. The state Senate has only bothered to come to work 32 days out of that 246. I don't know too many of you who would get paid full time for only showing up for work 32 days. I'm frustrated. It's clear that the state Senate is playing politics here. And I will tell you that my budget is balanced. It makes critical investments in things like economic development, and it cuts taxes. In fact, I want to cut taxes more than even the Republicans do in the legislature, because I know that's going to help spur on additional economic growth. We also are sitting in Pennsylvania on an $11 billion surplus. There's no excuses anymore. They got to do their job. I proposed the budget. I can sign the budget. The Constitution doesn't let me also vote on the budget. By the way, if it did, I'd be happy to do that. We would have been done a long time ago. At some point, your state senator and the entire state Senate have to show up for work and just do their jobs. That's the hang up. They haven't wanted to do their job. They're playing politics. Hopefully that'll change here in the next few days. The differences are minuscule. They just got to be willing to do it. Any other questions? Yeah.
Hi, Governor. Frank Lesnetsky from the Scranton Times.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Sorry, yeah. Frank Lesnetsky from the Scranton Times. So this is more pertaining to the overall industrial development in this area.
Yeah.
So the warehousing industry has been explosive in growth, especially over the last decade with Amazon, Chewy, and now that's been shifting to data centers, which
Yeah.
I know you've been a big supporter of. One of the issues that this area is run into, you're having data center developments that are being built or proposed near residential communities, near school districts.
Yeah.
What is your stance on data center development near residences, and what kind of protections could be put in place for residents who are concerned about water use, electricity use, noise?
Well, as you know, I announced the largest private sector investment in the history of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania just a few months ago, right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Deal with AWS, Amazon, that's going to create 10,000 construction jobs. And it's also at the same time going to create over 1,000 permanent jobs. We have worked with the local community in that case to make sure that through their supervisors, township commissioners, and others, that those needs are going to be met and those needs are going to be heard, that people's power costs are not going to go up, their water will not be compromised. I think with any of these deals, you've got to work with the local community. And the last deal we did is an example of that, where you can work together. When we made assertions to AWS as part of that project, it was together with the local government, working with them. I think it's critically important that we continue to do that. Listen to the local government, incorporate their concerns, and then lean in together. I know with the mayor and with the county commissioner here, we're always attentive to their concerns. And when we hear their concerns, we know we're hearing the concerns of their local citizens, and we want to continue to be sensitive to that. Anything else?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Connor Core, 2822 News. Nice to meet you, Governor Shapiro. Kind of just going off that question about the data centers. Are you concerned, based off like our neighboring states that have had issues with these data centers and trying to outsource electricity? Are you seeing that further concern in the state of Pennsylvania as well?
We are a net energy exporter here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We are turning back on 3 Mile Island, which is going to generate new power. Shuttered coal-fired power plants are being turned back on, utilizing natural gas that's going to put probably at least another 5 gigawatts of power onto the grid. Because of our unique standing in Pennsylvania, which is not true of our neighbors, right? They're buying our power, we're generating power. We have the ability to do more economic development deals like that are energy intensive without compromising both the reliability of power or the affordability of power for the average homeowner, small business owner, you name it. So I believe we can balance those two things because of the unique position we have as being a net energy exporter. Producing more energy gives us greater power and more economic opportunity. We are producing more energy today than ever before in the history of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I promise what I've delivered on, and through producing more energy, we've got more economic opportunity.
Yesterday, President Trump met with the Canadian Prime Minister. I just wanted to get your thoughts about it, as you know, Canada and Pennsylvania are one of the biggest partners. I saw you posted on social media a couple days ago. I just wanted to get your thoughts about that meeting yesterday with President Trump and the Canadian Prime Minister.
I was in Quebec 2 days ago, I think it was. I was there for about like less than 24 hours, as part of a Great Lakes and St. Lawrence commission that is made up of 8 U.S. governors and 2 leaders of provinces, premiers of provinces in Canada. Those 10 leaders elected me to chair that organization and to work together on not only protecting our Great Lakes, but on economic development opportunities. I said in Canada, and I'll repeat here, that I respect the Canadian people and I respect Canada's sovereignty. Canada is a critical trading partner for Pennsylvania, including right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Consider this, we export roughly $14 billion worth of Pennsylvania products to Canada each year, and we import roughly $14 billion of products from Canada to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania each year. So we've got a very fair and balanced trade with Canada, and they're an important partner. When the President of the United States bullies Canada, threatens to make them the 51st state, belittles them, undermines their sovereignty, that undermines the interests of our farmers and the people who work in our factories. And I made very clear that I've got a different worldview than the President of the United States there. I hope we strengthen our ties with Canada, because that means more jobs and more economic opportunity here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Again, I'm really honored to be selected by those 8 governors and those 2 premiers to lead this organization for the next 2 years. And I'm going to work really hard to bring more economic development to Pennsylvania as a result thereof and protect our Great Lakes.
Time for one more question.
Do you have any Governor, you were an Attorney General. Do you have any reaction to the way Pam Bondi testified before Congress yesterday?
I didn't see her testimony. I'm sorry.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody.